Hey, it's Rhett from Maserati Mods, and just finished up an oil change in the Maserati, so a little sweaty in this hot summer day in North Carolina. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the way we lift our car. I've mentioned this before in a few other videos, but we do use the QuickJack. We're going to do a quick run through of the setup of the QuickJacks. So a couple things to note about them. First of all, you should never lift these things with the pump without a load on it. So they stress that in the manual. So don't test it out without a heavy load on the jacks. Secondly, these have a right and left and a front and rear side to them. From a right and left, you just want to make sure that this arm here, which is the locking mechanism, is on the outside so you can reach it without sticking your arm underneath or between some of those heavy bars. The other thing is that the label end is where the heaviest part of the car should go, so wherever the engine is. So I'm going to be backing my car in over these jacks. So I've got them kind of narrowed together now so I can get the car over them. You don't want to drive on top of them, I should say, but you want to drive and then so you can position them from the center out. The hoses that you need to connect are right here. They're pretty straightforward hydraulic connections. They have a locking mechanism as well to prevent them from accidentally popping out. So you plug in those hoses and then you plug the other end into the hydraulic pump, which is right here. And you have your starting mechanism. And then of course this just plugs into a 120 volt. All right, another thing to keep in mind is these hoses that come from the jacks themselves. You're gonna feed them through this opening here, and then under here, the jack doesn't actually touch the ground ever. So you wanna feed it through this way to make your connections, and that'll stay loose, as opposed to the other way, because the jacks do touch the ground anywhere beyond this point this way. This is how easy these things snap in here. A little hard to do with one hand because I'm holding the camera, but that's it. And now everything's hooked up. Got those in. There's really not a right or left as far as the hoses go. You just connect them there. And then we'll plug this in. And it's all ready for me to bring the car over. So I'll do that next. Once you've got the car backed over, the lifts, you can slide them into place. Now, I've got a Maserati Gran Turismo, and one of the challenges is getting everything aligned under the lift points. So what I have done is fashioned this little hockey puck type thing. Got this on Amazon. It comes with a kind of a tab. You can cut it down. I've cut it down to fit the hole underneath here. Okay, so this is the lift point. There's a threaded hole there. I suppose to do this the right way, there's probably a really expensive tool you got to buy, but these work just fine. First, kind of want to find the hole. So there's the hole. You can kind of see it there. Just gonna kind of get it, screw it in there a little bit just to get it snug so it doesn't fall off. And that's where you know you need to line up your jack. All right, you want to try to position this so the puck, the lift point, is in the tray, you know, as centered as you can get it. Doesn't matter too much. And then you can put in your lifting block. And these blocks come with the QuickJack kit. And when this thing lifts, it's going to go forward slightly. So this block is going to shift over a little bit. So you just want to kind of keep that in account. In fact, I'll turn it this way to allow for a little bit of a run there. Once you got everything positioned, double check, make sure everything is well aligned. When you're moving these things around one end or the other, they can swing a little bit. So just make sure everything's well aligned. And then really importantly, you want to lift this where you're at a good angle where you can see if the car is leaning to the right or left. If you're standing right next to it, it won't be as obvious. And I have had the experience where, for whatever reason, one side has started to lift faster than the other, and it was kind of freaked me out. So you want to stay at this back here so you can see, and if there's obviously any leaning, you want to come back down and address the issue. And here we go. Once I get it off the ground, I like to just do a double check on the alignment before going the rest of the way. That looks pretty good. You can see that one kind of is off a little bit. So it's off to the side just a little bit. It's probably not a big deal, but I'm going to go ahead and fix that just to be safe. And this one looks right good. And this one's good. All right, so I'm going to bring it down. And the nice thing about these pucks is that they won't move on you. If you just have one sitting in there resting, I've had them shift a little bit and then thinking that I've only got to adjust one, but when I bring it back down, all of them moved a bit. So that's another good reason for these more stationary pucks. All right, hand back up for good. Okay, you've heard that click? Hopefully you did. That's the first level here. And so that's told you it's gone over that first level, which it has 2 levels that you can use. So I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it here. And once you hear that click on both sides, you can bring it down. So I'm pushing it down and it'll lock into place. And you wanna make sure that's completely shut off or all the way down. And now these bars are locked into place. They're not going anywhere. Okay, and once you've got your project done, to bring it down, you're gonna lift it up. Again, staying so you have a good view. You're staying balanced. You hear that click. Okay, so that's far enough now that you could release the locks. And all you do is just need to lift it. That's it. Now it flips this guy, and it becomes a sled. It'll slide right over that stop. That's it. And now we'll let it down all the way. When you bring it down, you want to hold this. Even though it's already down, you want to hold the down button to let all the hydraulic fluid get back into the pump so you don't have any leaks from the hoses. Here are the pucks I mentioned, and you can see how I've shaved these down. If you look at the link in the description, show you where you can get them on Amazon and what they originally look like. But basically, you need to get it down the base here. Somewhere around, I would say, let me start. The bolt size that you're fitting into is a centimeter. So, I want it to fit in there pretty snugly. So I tapered it at the top here, and it's a little wider down at the base. And to cut this, I saw this amazing hack on YouTube. This is amazing. It's how you could cut rubber. This works really, really well. I just got a fresh razor blade between 2 washers there, and it just oscillates enough that you can cut through the rubber without it wiggling all over the place. So it's fantastic, and it was so much easier than trying to cut it all by hand, which I did try to do that on the first one. And so I just put these away. I figured I'd show you how I store them, because I know a lot of people kind of struggle with what do you do with the QuickJacks when you're not using them, because they are very heavy to move around, especially for the extended versions, which I have, which I recommend for your Maserati. But I built this wall stand. Of course, QuickJack sells one of these as well, but it's so easy to make. I basically just have a 2x4 back here, and I have these blocks on either side, kind of keep the jacks from going from side to side. And it's real important you put these chains across here. So I just have a lag bolt there. And I see it's really important because there have been times when I set it up there and, you know, I have it a little too close to the wall down there, and it caught it starting to lean, which would be pretty disastrous if it hit anything or anyone, because they are damn heavy. So anyway, that's all that we're putting in a chain here. You can use the blocks to store some of the rubber lifts that you need. And then what I do is I just take my hoses here, wind these up, make sure you got your protective covers on there, and then I just got a bungee that stores there nicely, and then pump sits down there, keeping the fitting side facing the wall so they don't get bumped. And that's it. Doesn't take up a lot of space when you pack it up this way. All right, that project's done. Another hot day in North Carolina. Stay cool where you are, and check us out at MaseratiMods.com. We have a ton of mods and upgrades, from radio, digital equipment, to carbon fiber body mods, merchandise, other performance mods. Check us out, MaseratiMods.com. Thanks for watching.